I know you missed me, YouTube, but I'm back. Um, Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, lovies, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nai, and today we are going to be reading my so obviously I have my do-rag on because I gotta keep the hair laid. So we got our hoodie on. I got grudges. It is my Kiana Lede hoodie. I have my blanket here. I suggest you get cozy, comfy. Today we are reading my first book, Enchanted Secrets. You can buy it on Amazon. And I'm really proud of this book. This is my first book. I honestly wrote it as an assignment for my students. But then I like stopped writing it and then I came back to it and I was like, beautiful 10 out of 10. So this is my first book in the Enchanted series. And then yesterday, my second book came in the mail. This is Enchanted Academy. This is the second book in the series. Personally love this one more than the first one, but you have to read the first one to understand the second one. So, I'm so excited to get through this series. So today we're reading chapters 1 through 6 of Enchanted Secrets. My next video will be 7 through 12, and the one after that is 13 through 17. So we should go through that fast, and then we will move on to this one. This series is basically supposed to be something cozy, something fun, something cute, fun and fresh. And honestly, like that's the whole goal. It's just really fun and I think that you guys are going to enjoy this book. And the second one, I'm still debating on if I want to write a third one, so please just let me know if you would like to see a third book. I'll make sure to link the book's Amazon link in the comments so you could do it. You could get it on Kindle or you can get it on like in the book form. This is what the book looks like. This book does not have my name on it. This one does. Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the book is called Enchanted Secrets. The back I'll read the back for you. It says, an old oath was broken and is it is Isara Bindwell's job to figure out how to fix it. During a game of charms and swords, Nisa, Felix, Thorn, and Soren uncovered who broke the oath. Feelings, betrayal, and hard conversations allow the truth to unfold. Now, again, this book is really good. I would recommend it for like grades third through I'll give like seventh max, but everybody can read this book. It's a really good book. Same for Enchanted Academy. I would say that's the reading level, but it's enjoyable. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, chapter one, Broken Oath. I know it's backwards on on whatever you're watching this, so I'm just gonna read it, and you're just gonna watch me read it. Um, well, okay. Thor. Every day, I walk the trails between Libertopia, Charmington, and Shimmerwood. As a Tri-Kingdom guard, I have an important role to lead my soldiers through each trail to make sure there aren't any threats. Today was different. Today, Prince Ashwin of Shimmerwood took over my route so I could meet with Queen Seraphina Quill of Libertopia. We had a meeting once a month to discuss any magical threats that may be posed against the kingdoms. As I entered the enchanted wing of the castle, I made my way along the illuminating tiles that lit my way to the meeting hall. The room was regularly sized, with walls lined with spellbooks and pictures of the queen and her daughter, Princess Lorelei. The room was on the second floor and soundproof to ensure our conversations were not heard. I didn't notice another person was joining us until Queen Seraphina greeted me. Hello there, Thorn. How are you today? She said in her sing-songy voice. I am well. How are you? I'm as enchanted as always, she let out a chuckle. My goodness, I have been so rude. Isara Bindwell will be joining us today. She is the master binder here in Libertopia. As I turned to look at her, I noticed her vibrant hazel and silver eyes, her caramel skin, and her long braid that had book ribbon woven in. She blushed and said, "Hi, I'm Isara. It is so nice to finally meet you," her voice calming and sweet. Stunned, I began to stutter. Uh, uh, I'm Silverbone Thorn. Meet you nice. The ladies tried to hide their laughter. The queen interjects and continues. Now that we have introduced ourselves, Isara has brought to my attention that one of our oaths has been broken. It was an old oath made between the kingdoms regarding where their children may reside. In shortened terms, the king or queen's children may only live in their country of rule. I listened intently, partly because I was admiring her, but also because this is an interesting oath. In disbelief, Isara replies, "There can't be. Wouldn't we already know? Someone would have said something." "Said what?" I ask, still not understanding the implications they are making. "Unless someone in Charmington or Shimmerwood had a child we don't know about." "Do you think one of the royals would do that knowingly?" "They are fully aware of the broken oath consequences," I say. "It's highly unlikely, but possible. They may not know. When we were growing up, let's just say King Florian and Queen Moonvein were very social." Isara and I shared a look of surprise and turned away. I speak first. "So what happens now?" "Well, I'm working to figure out which kingdom broke the oath, but I'm struggling to locate some of the birth records." Isara delightedly shares. "In the meantime, Thorn, I want you to keep your eyes and ears out for anything that may help us." "Yes, ma'am." "Perfect. You both are dismissed. It was a pleasure meeting with you both, as always." Isara and I exited the room, stopping in front of the large wooden door, our illuminating paths going in different directions. She looks at me as if she is finally taking me in. She softly says, "I will update you with anything I find. Again, it was nice meeting you." She already began to walk away as I stuttered, It was nice to meet you too. I will do the same." She turned her head with a smile and continued walking on her path. I stood and watched for a second before I followed mine. I thought about Isara all the way back to the Tri-Kingdom Point, where the soldiers are having lunch. Chapter 2, Game Night. Soren! Tonight is my favorite night of the week, game night. Every week, Thorn, Felix, and Nisa and I meet at one of our houses and play with the best game of all time, Charms and Swords. Basically, in the game, you have to figure out what is under the cloche in the middle of by bows, questions, and swords, process of elimination. We love to play the game because it is random, and we haven't had any repeat of items. Plus, since the game is enchanted, the possibilities are endless. One time, there was a full gown that Countess Vivian wore when she was 3. Tonight, I'm hosting, and we are making our own pizzas and shimmer juice. Thorn, my best friend, is the first to arrive. He is smart, hardworking, talented, and honest. He is tall, has silver eyes, pale skin, and long hair tied back. We have been best friends since 4th grade. We were in the same class and became friends when he shared his brothel with me during lunch. "Hey!" I squeal as he walks in. "Hey, bestie," he says as he gives me a hug. "How's your day?" "It was pretty good, honestly. Oh my gosh, I met the most amazing girl today, and she was so beautiful and smart." "I hope you're talking about me," Nissa says as she walks through the door, hands full with the game. "I'm not talking about you, Nissa. We've known each other for the past 4 years." Nissa lives in Shimmerwood as a water spirit guardian. She is drop dead gorgeous with her water-like flowy hair, her shimmering blue eyes, and her pink starfish dress. "Wow, I'd be hurt if I cared," she said with a smirk. "What are they fighting about now?" Felix says, finally arriving. Felix is the castle historian in Charmington. He has ivory skin, soft tousled chestnut hair, round gold glasses, hazel eyes, and is wearing a brown wool vest and with a pink book bow tie. Allegedly, Thorn met this amazing girl today, and Nisa thought he was talking about her. I said, rolling my eyes. It definitely isn't allegedly. I saw her during my meeting with Queen Seraphina this morning, and her name is Isara. He sticks his tongue out at me tauntingly. Wait, I know her. I see her all the time. She was asking for all the birth records of the three kingdoms today. She is really smart, Felix shares. See, I wasn't lying. She did say today that she was struggling to get some of the birth records. Apparently, an oath was broken, so she's investigating which kingdom it took place in. What oath? I inquire. I guess one of the kingdom's royals has a child that lives in a different kingdom, and the oath strictly forbids that. A gasp from all struck the momentary silence. That is so scandalous, Nisa says with a cheeky grin. I move the conversation along with let's start making our pizzas so we can get to the main activity. Charms and swords. We all yell and die in a fit of laughter. We make our pizzas, listening to music and serenading each other, with Felix singing terribly as always. We sit down to eat, and Nissa brings up the Tri-Kingdom Ball. Y'all know the Royals announced the committee for the Tri-Kingdom Ball planning tomorrow, right? Yes, hopefully. Honestly, I hope I'm on it. I need something new in my life, I say. I hope I am not on the committee. It is literally so annoying having to run around and have the meetings and figure out what the theme is. It's too much, Felix scoffs. Whatever. I heard it's going to be at Euphoria, I squeal. Actually, Nissa says excitedly, Euphoria was built last year after the last ball. It is a huge purple building with walls made of glass to see outside and help with the lighting. The floors are marble and have the same illuminating enchanted paths as Libertopia. It is regal and has bows etched into the top of the door frames to represent Charmington, and it has sparkling flowing fountains outside to represent Shimmerwood. It is going to be so beautiful. Can we play the game now? Thorn says, disinterested in the girl talk. We're getting to the good part. This is. Anyway. Chapter 3 Secrets Unfold. Soren. Is it an object? I ask the board. It spins in response, letting us know it has confirmed. Can I eat it? Thorin asks, still hungry after our dinner. The board puffs smoke in his face. All right then, he says, coughing. Is it a secret? Asks Nissa. The board spins again. As we all look at each other, we wonder if it has something to do with the oath that was broken. Does it have to do with the broken oath? Felix whispers, causing the board to spin again. Isara said she has been struggling to get some access to some birth certificates. Maybe we should ask if it is that, Thorn shares suspiciously. We all nod in agreement. Is it a birth certificate? The board spins, shooting magical glitter around the room that disappears before hitting the ground, and there, as the cloche lifts, it's a birth certificate. Felix stares at the rolled pink scroll of paper, wrapped in a silver bow, with the shield of Charmington in the middle. Should we open it? I ask. Felix reaches for it hesitantly. As he unrolls the piece of paper, he gasps loudly, his face turning confused, with his eyebrows by his hairline. What? Who is it? Why are you being so dramatic? We all shout questions at him while he remains silent. He finally whispers so softly we can barely hear. It's Isara's. Okay. Thorn twists his neck, asking a question with his body language that he cannot fathom to ask out loud. You have to give us more than that, Felix. Nissa shouts at him, hitting his shoulder. It it says she's the daughter of King Florian. We all gasp in unison. There is no way. It can't be. Wouldn't someone know this information? Why doesn't she know? Are you serious? Thorn says while snatching the paper from Felix. eyes searching quickly over the paper. Nissa snatches the paper next, doing the same thing. Then it is my turn to take a look at the paper. Lo and behold, it says, right under father's name, King Florian in flamingo pink, sparkly print. This can't be real. It's just a game. She would know if she was the reason the oath was broken, right? Thorn says. Maybe, but if she doesn't know, that makes it all the more a special secret. We should probably confirm before we tell anyone, I say. Well, I can do some digging and see if anyone knows anything about Isara and her background. Maybe that will give insight into why she doesn't know and will help us confirm if she actually is the heir of Charmington. Are you sure we can't tell anyone? Nissa says, almost bouncing off the walls. Some may call her a bit of gossip. This is like pure gold. Absolutely not, Felix snaps. If we share this information and it's not true, then not only can we all get in trouble, but so can they. We need to swear that we won't. Fine, I swear. Nissa stamps her heel on the floor, crosses her arms, and leans back on the couch. Fine by me, I swear. I say as I pinky promise Felix. We all turn to face Thorn, who is staring off into space. Thorn! We all shout in unison. Huh. You need to swear to not tell anyone about this, I say, patting him on the shoulder, seeing something in his eyes that is not normally there. Yeah, sure, I swear, he says, still lost deep in his thoughts. Shortly after we say our goodbyes, I head up to bed, putting on my black and white bow pajama set. I lay my head back on the pillow and ponder, thinking about the game, work, my future, and most of all, as I do every night, Thorn. Chapter 4. The Ball Committee. Isara. There is just no way. As I stand at the Tri-Kingdom Point, as everyone else under the age of 28 from 3 kingdoms, I wonder why they put me on the committee. I have so much work to do. Going through birth records, analyzing the mythical requests, and trying to keep up with my own personal life. The list is as follows. Thorn Silverbow, Isara Bindwell, Nisa Duvale, Felix Quilford, Prince Ashwin, Princess Lorelei, Soren Nightscribe, Countess Vivian. At least I've heard a few of the names, but this is not at all what I want to do. Apparently, we have to meet twice a week at Euphoria to go over the details. Aren't you just so excited? Lisa beams with excitement and a bright smile. I'm not sure I will be good at this, I say, stepping back. Of course you will be, silly. We're a team. I watch as Thorn approaches with Felix, who is ranting about having to be on the committee. He looks almost as unhappy as me. I just don't understand why they chose me. It's not like I don't have important business to attend to at the castle. This is going to set me back, Felix says. Thorn rolls his eyes before they stop on me. I have to go. As he walks toward me, I get fireflies in my stomach. I don't even know why. I just met him yesterday. Hey, I saw you were on the list. You must be over the moon about being on the committee. If by over the moon you mean wishing I could do anything else, then yes. Why not? The girls have been talking about being on the committee since enchantment school. Talking about the colors and the decor and their gowns. I just was never into that kind of stuff. I was more into reading or helping at the shelter where I grew up. He looked at me with surprise before he quickly changed his expression. Have you met the rest of the committee? I know some of them, but not many, I say, searching his face as if I've missed something. I'll introduce you. As we walk in the huddled group's direction, I talk myself up to be social. With most of my time spent in my observatory, I don't socialize much and really only talk to my best friend, Princess Lorelei. We met when her mom would send her to town for dance classes when we were younger, and we have been inseparable since. I wave to Princess Lorelei, who raises her eyebrows when she sees Thorn. Hey guys, this is Isara Bindwell. I wave as a crowd of hellos sound. I'm Vivian, but everyone calls me Vivi. I'm Soren, and I'm Prince Ashwin, he says as he curtsies and kisses my hand. My cheeks turn a rosy pink. It's really nice to meet you all. Lorelai chimes up first as a natural born leader. When we meet on Thursday, we should all come with a theme and colors so we can get that done before it sneaks up on us. We only have 2 months to plan. We all nod in agreement and say our goodbyes. Princess Lorelai comes to follow step with me, and we interlock our arms on our way to our favorite spot in Libratopia, Scrolls Ice Cream. She starts the conversation with, "So, I leave you for a retreat for 3 days, and you have two guys who want you?" Chapter 5, Deep in Thought. It's my iPad. Okay, chapter 5. We're almost done. It's so, this, anyway. Isara, they do not want me. I say in shock that she thinks that. So then why did Thorn decide to introduce you after having a private conversation? And why did Prince Ashwin kiss your hand? First of all, I met Thorn last week with your mom to talk about a broken oath. And I think he was just being nice. I've never met the prince until today, and maybe he did that because he was being princely? Absolutely not. He definitely does not do that to everyone. He didn't do that to Nisa and Soren. Plus, you could have introduced yourself. Right, right. I don't think it's that big of a deal, I say as we walk into the ice cream shop. And since you didn't tell me about meeting with Thorn, you get to buy the ice cream. I roll my eyes and order our usual. We eat our ice cream on the way back to the castle. I have a lot of work to get done before the day ends. So, what are you thinking about for the ball? I think a masquerade ball would be a good theme. Maybe a deep reds and blacks as the color scheme, everyone could wear masks. That would be cool. I don't even know what idea I'm going to bring. You know, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. Don't talk about my friend like that. Besides, you have 2 days. Look on Pinterest for some inspiration or meditate. I laugh at the idea of meditation. I don't think I've ever had a clear mind since the day I was born. As we approach the castle, we continue to chat about the boys and overall life. When we parted ways, I went to work in my observatory looking through the birth certificates Felix gave me. The worst part is, I don't even have my own. When I contacted the shelter, they said that they didn't have it, which I thought was weird, but they were able to give me a lot of them, so I was grateful. I finished looking through the birth certificates, cleaning up, and checked my email before I ultimately headed home for the day. My mind wandered about Thorn, the prince, the broken oath, Lorelei, the amazing ice cream from earlier in the ball. When I got home, I sit down on the couch to scroll on Pinterest to find a theme for the ball. I'm unsure of what I want to offer. I mean, I don't usually even partake in all the festivities. I've only gone because Lorelei makes me. Every year, it is basically a best dressed competition, and honestly, I prefer to be at home in my PJs watching movies and snacking. As I continue to scroll, I stumble upon a theme that I would die for: Under the Stars. This would actually be perfect in Euphoria, especially with the glass walls and the ability to actually be under the stars. We could even have different constellations projected and shooting stars. We can do blues, purples, black, silvers, and gold. It would be perfect. A mix of my life for space and a gorgeous decor that could be talked about for centuries. As I dream of the theme, I get ready for bed, where I ultimately decide to journal about my day before going to sleep. Dear Diary, today I found out I was on the Royal Ball Committee. Ugh. I mean, it's not so much the people on the committee and more just having to take on that huge responsibility. But my bestie's on the committee, so I guess I will live. Also, I don't know what's in the air, but the boys are acting very interested. Prince Ashwin kissed my hand during the introduction. Why would he do that? And then Thorn wanted to introduce me to the group. I didn't forget the look of surprise he made when I said I grew up in the shelter. It almost was like he knew something. I don't know. I do hope that I can make some friends with the girls. It would be refreshing. We will see what this experience brings us. Love, Issa. In our last chapter, chapter 6, planning mode. Soren. It is finally Thursday, and we have our first meeting to talk about the ball. Everyone is sharing their ideas for what they want the theme to be. A lot of oohs and ahs have been shared. As I sit here, I am excited to be on the committee, but I find myself focusing on something other than the planning. I'm focusing on Thorn, and he is focusing on Isara. Isara is a very sweet girl. I actually liked her idea for an Under the Stars theme. It seemed like it came from a passion that she has. It makes it all the much harder, though, getting to know her, but also knowing a secret about her. I wonder if that's what Thorn is thinking about. I come back to reality when I finally hear Princess Lorelai say, "All right, well, it is time to vote. Cast your vote using the pink quill and put it in the bag. The choice with the most votes will be projected around us." One by one, we write our votes on small slips of paper with tiny books on it and place it into the bag. Once everyone has placed their vote, she places the bag on the center table for it to reveal the theme. The bag hops once and then twice. Then around us, with bright flashes of color, appear shooting stars, a bright yellow sun, constellations, and the planets revolving around us. As I look around, I see that everyone is in awe of the sight before us. The room stays still, with eyes searching and finding new details like their name in the stars or a shimmerwood crest. Finally, the scene fades and we are back in the conference room in euphoria. Well, I think it's safe to say that this ball will be out of this world, Prince Ashwin says, nudging Felix, who rolls his eyes in response. It is beautiful. Such a great theme, Isara. Nisa chimes in to add to the conversation. So what's next? I asked Princess Lorelai so we can get this meeting over with. Well, I need to relay the theme to Princess Celeria, and once she approves, we can begin to plan the food, music, decor, etc. I'll meet with her today to get everything squared away for our meeting on Monday. Ugh, we have to meet again on Monday? This is torture. I'd rather recite all the bloodline of Shimmerwood's royals than plan this. Felix shares, still trying to get out of this. Nisa points in his face. It's really not even that bad. All you have to do is sit there and lift things when we ask you to. So a normal Thursday, Thorne says under his breath with a small chuckle. I giggle and look to see that Isara and Prince Ashwin have disappeared. I guess through our conversation we must have missed them leaving. Princess Lorelai rises and says her goodbye to head toward Shimmerwood. When Nissa shares she will tag along as she needs to talk to the queen about some business, Felix, Thorne, and I say goodbye and also leave Euphoria. Are we still meeting tonight? I ask them as we walk toward the Tri-Kingdom Point together before we go our separate ways to finish our days. Duh, we haven't missed a single game night, like ever. Even when Thorne had the glow bug, we still had game night, Felix replies. We all shudder at the memory. Let's just say it was not a pretty sight, and honestly, I don't think my bathroom has ever seen such a horrific sight. Well, I will see you both later. I have to meet with the queen to discuss the oath and the guard's findings. Just make sure not to mention that we know who broke the oath, I whisper. I won't. Speaking of that, Felix, have you talked to Vivi? No. I thought I would catch her today, but she came down with a cold. I'm hoping she is better by tomorrow so I can catch up with her to get information. Well, just let us know. If anything, we will see her on Monday, I say with a cheeky, mischievous grin. Right, he says with a side eye. Well, I guess this is where we part ways. I will see you both later. See ya, me and Thorne say as we head towards Libertopia, where he has his meeting and I have to update a text in the Grand Library. I wonder where Ashwin and Isara disappeared to, I say, breaking the silence. They probably just left to go back to work, he murmurs nonchalantly. I mean, I guess. Did you see the way he was looking at her? This piques his interest because his ears turn red, and he focuses on looking straight ahead. I did not. Do you think he likes her? Maybe. She is very pretty, and he did kiss her hand upon meeting her. My guess would be that he does. Right. We walk in silence for a bit, admiring the scenery and listening to the songbirds chirp. When we finally part ways, I can't help but to think about his reaction. He seemed almost jealous, irritated, frustrated. I don't know, but definitely not his usual go with the flow. It is weird. In all the time I've known him, I've never quite seen him act like this. Maybe he really does like Isara. And that is the end of the first 6 chapters. Now, mind you, this book isn't that long. So there's really, it looks like we're halfway through. I wouldn't say that we're halfway through, I guess. I mean, no, I wouldn't say that. But that is the end of the first 6 chapters. This book is just getting good. Please tune in next week to see the next 6 chapters. And we will be finishing this in 3 weeks and then moving on to Enchanted Academy. I'm so happy to be sharing this with you. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.